Hey YouTube, it's Tams, the Wicked Witch. I hope you're all well and stuff. It's a beautiful day, the sun's out. I've still got the fringe, but we've managed to clip it to the side, so it's not quite as scary. I was about to make myself something, and I thought, why not share and show everybody what I'm going to make. It's ever so easy, and there's a few ingredients you can add. And if you don't want to or you don't have them, you don't have to and it still works. Or you can add every one of them and it will still work fantastic. So there's it's just a quick little spell. Witchcraft on a budget, won't cost a lot. You've probably got most of this stuff in your cupboard. And yeah, apologies for my messy cupboard. I've already started the video now, so it's open, sorry. Mess everywhere and dust. So bit of wealth, bit of prosperity, bit of bring the money in, give us a bit of good luck, money, keep it flowing kind of spell bag. I like to do these. I like to keep one in my bag. I like to renew it. I like to change it up a little bit. Maybe the intentions change a little bit in my bags that I make. People call them gree bags. People call them mojo bags. People call them gris. People call them spell bags. Magic bags, all kinds of things. You call it whatever you like. But I like to do this. It's a bit like a money altar in a bag that you can travel about with. It's like a little one, like you can keep it with you, and it just keeps the old luck flowing and keeps money coming. Now, it doesn't mean that, tonight you're going to win the Euro millions. It's not that sort of thing. And, if you're a witch and you know how it works, you know how witchcraft works. It keeps it flowing. It keeps good vibes for the money and being able to pay for things and that kind of thing. So it's ever so easy to do. You need a little baggy bag. I've got a little baggy bag, what I call them, something like that. If you get witch casket, you get loads of these little things. If you've only got like a big version, that doesn't matter. But just remember, you've got to keep it with you in your bag. That one's a bit smaller. Something like that. Just a little bag, or if you've got one of these little vials, these little glass vials are quite useful, but then you've got to try and get smaller crystal chips to fit in there. But whatever you got. And if you don't have one, you could make one from a bit of material or a hanky or whatever. Just make one out of a bit of felt. You can do whatever you want. I'm just using the black one, but to be honest, it's quite nice to use green because green is the colour of money, right? So it's, if you want to get technical and do that, you can. Now, the way I see these bags working, this is my humble opinion, of course. Read up and do what you want, as you want to. My idea of it is that with each ingredient you put into your spell bags or into any kind of spell, you put your intent in with that ingredient, because certain ingredients, certain items that are going in the spell are for different things. So for this spell, I'm going to be adding 2 green aventurine crystals. So green aventurine crystals are absolutely fantastic for wealth and prosperity and good luck, and that kind of wealth and money magic. So as I put them in the bag and I add the intent with each item, I'm thinking about the properties, what they are going to do and what I want them to do. So it's kind of like 2 things almost. You're adding what it's going to do, because that's what green aventurine does, and what you want it to do. So do you want to be able to pay for the car? Do you need to buy a new car because your car's broke? You've lost your job, you need a new job. Okay, that might be a different set of stuff. This is all the same thing going in this bag, because without a job you haven't got any money, right? So it's the same thing. Keep it in. You've got to keep your job, or that new job you've got, you're just starting, hope it works. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of thing. So as long as you get the intent in for each one into the bag, that's how I see it as firing up the bag to work. So in my bag, which is a bit too small, but I wanted you to be able to see into it, I'm going to just put 1, but I'm going to add the aventurine, and then I would add in my intent. So the intent of what this does, which is, bringing you prosperity, bringing you good luck with money, keeping the money flowing, and all that stuff, and then what I want it to do. Okay, so at this point I would shut my eyes, I would add in my intent. I'm not going to do it now just because it all takes far too long. You know, you'll be here for hours. So add your intent. If you want to burn a green candle and have some incense on and do all of that stuff, it's, you know, get into it. Proper get the intent in. If you don't get your intent in, it won't work. If you haven't got the intentions to go into the bag, it's not going to work, okay? So I've got pyrite. This is also called fool's gold, but it is actually called pyrite. And the reason it's called fool's gold is because in the old days, the gold miners who were mining for gold would find pyrite and think that they'd found gold. And obviously they would have found something that, you know, wasn't worth what gold was. Probably wasn't worth anything, actually. But yeah, that's pyrite. So I'll be putting in pyrite. To me, pyrite resembles gold, and it resembles coin, and it resembles money. So that, to me, I would be the intent of keeping the money coming in and things that I want to buy or need to buy. Not so much wanna, that sounds greedy, but things I need. Like, say you need to get a new house, you need to move. That's your intent for that, yeah? So remember, each item going into the bag, getting the intent. I've dropped the bag now and everything's fell out. This isn't a big enough bag. You get a bigger bag, and if you do use one of these, make sure all your crystals are small, because nothing will fit in it. So this is from my garden. This is rosemary. I'm not actually going to get this out because I'm going to make my bag later properly. But this is dried rosemary from my garden. If you don't have a rosemary bush and you haven't got any dried rosemary, you can buy it in Tesco's. Just make sure that you sage it and bless the rosemary and cleanse it before you use it again and put your intentions in, because, you know, you don't know what it's got stuck to it. So I'm going to put in rosemary. Rosemary, I find, is a really, really good kind of protector and spell protector. Does that make sense? Like, it protects the spell and gives it, I don't know, it's not like it powers the spell up, but it protects the energy of the spell, makes it work. And also it's a good protection. That's why people have lots of rosemary bushes in their garden. Witches are obsessed with rosemary. They have rosemary everywhere. And it's good for all sorts of things, healing and all sorts. But I find with spell work, I like to put rosemary in almost everything because it kind of protects my intentions of the spell. So I will be putting rosemary. So we've got green aventurine, we've got pyrite, fool's gold, and we've got rosemary, okay, into the bag. And we're going to be putting each intention in like that. Now, these two are optional if you want, because I know not everybody has sorry, I'm just getting something out. I know not everybody has graveyard dirt, okay? So I can't see mine. Oh, it's over the back. If you want to put a sprinkle of graveyard dirt in, feel free, because graveyard dirt is absolutely amazing. It's full of spirit energy. Especially if you use the cemetery over and over, and you know the cemetery and the vibe, and you gel with the vibe of the cemetery. I've been using the same cemetery for such a long time, the same graveyard. I go to the same area of the graveyard. The spirits are absolutely, they're just courteous. They don't mind me going there. They're nice. Nobody's ever tried to attach themselves and come back with me. I always cleanse it before I get in my car, cleanse it before I come back indoors. I have a jar of it in my car for protection. I just love, where I go, I just love the energy that I get off of the dirt there. So if you've got graveyard dirt and you want to put a sprinkle in, again, just to protect you, to power up your spell, to give it that oomph, you're asking the spirit world to help you with this, you know, to power up your money spell and your wealth and your prosperity spell, all in this little bag, because obviously that's what you want. So if you don't have it, it doesn't matter, it will still work. If you've got some coffee, a little spoonful of coffee. Now, I didn't bring coffee in with me, and my coffee jar in here is empty. A spoonful of coffee does exactly what coffee does. Coffee fires up us. Caffeine fires up our spells. So a little spoonful of coffee. You can do that as well as the graveyard dirt. 'Cause just remember, even though your graveyard dirt gives your spell oomph, it's because it's full of spirit energy. Coffee is full of caffeine. So if you know, one or the other or both, because, you know, the more the merrier. And last but not least, you've done each one, you've got the intentions in, the intentions for the actual property of the item as well, remember. You've got it all in there, and right at the end, put in a cinnamon stick. Now, cinnamon is an absolute protection for the house, for everything. And why not just protect the bag? Protect the bag. You don't want nothing moody stuck to it. The bag's got to work because it's got all these things it needs to do for you. And why not put in a stick of cinnamon? I'd even give it a nice stir around, perhaps do a pentagram with the cinnamon at the end, and then tie up your bag. Now, obviously, make sure you get the right size in for things, because this cinnamon stick ain't going in here, but I shall have a bigger bag, and it will probably be this one, because I quite like this. It says Kitchen Witch on it. It was out of Witchcraft, and I shall probably use this, because everything will fit in here, and then it will screw up and go into my handbag, and it will just sit there. And perhaps in a month or two, I might renew it, because it may need, I take everything back out. It's not like a spell where you're trying to remove a negative energy off of somebody or get something, you know, it doesn't need to be buried, okay? Because it's a continuous working. That's how I see this kind of thing. If you were doing something where you needed to get something horrible, then I wouldn't reuse the items. I'd bury them somewhere. But because this is like a continuous working for yourself, then I find that it's fine to reuse the items. So I would take them out, give them a clean off. I mean, yeah, fair enough. If the dirt's got all mixed with the coffee, throw that away. But you can reuse all your bits and pieces, you know. So, yeah, at the end, you do one big intention for the whole bag, and that's it. Make sure you stick a little bit of sage in the bag. Now, this was from Witch Casket, and I know they cleanse everything, but I would still cleanse the bag, because or the pot or the jar, whatever. You could put it in a little pot if you wanted. You can put it in whatever you want. Yeah, it's just a little bit of good luck, a little bit of wealth, a little bit of prosperity to get us through the next year as we come out, all being well, of COVID and all that stuff. It's been hard for everybody. People have been furloughed, people have lost jobs and all this, that and the other, and businesses. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a prosperity spell, and we all like those, don't we? So I hope you have a go at this. Let me know how you get on. If you've got any questions, ask me. Yeah, thank you to all my new subscribers. I don't think you can see the subscribers that I can see. I've got loads and loads, especially last week. It's just going up and up. But when I looked on my mum's computer, it actually still says I'm on the 14. So it's actually a lot higher. So thank you to all my new subscribers. I can see some of you. A lot of you keep yourselves private, so I don't really know who you are, but it's lovely. The ones who do comment and that, I really appreciate it all. It's lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to try and get my finger out this week and get quite a few videos out and start cracking on a little bit. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a go at this, and I hope it works for you. I've been doing these for years, and yeah, really does work, you know. And I am a bit of a favourite with the old graveyard dirt. So just remember, get yourself a good graveyard or cemetery area and be polite. And yeah, you'll find that everything works twice as good. If you get good communication with the spirit world, it works twice as good. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Ta-da.